This is Maritime Radio.
I'm Bethany and you are listening to the monthly Millwall Fans News and Views show, broadcasting live on Maritime Radio on 96.5 FM and on the Maritime website.
Hello, and how are we? Well, welcome to our monthly Millwall News and Views show. I'm your host, Eamonn Barclay, alongside Millwall fan panellists, Thamesmead's most prominent and well-known Millwall supporter, often seen in Sainsbury's there, and you all recognise him. That's Stan Godwin. Next is Richmond's megastar, I think that's what they say, known as the real deal, who could join forces with Hannah Waddingham as a new coach in the up-and-coming series of Ted Lasso. It's an exciting prospect that fans are looking forward to, as it has a shift towards women's soccer. And of course, it's the one and only Jeff Burnige. Next up is Craig Wilson, who has experience in refereeing, acting and volunteering at the one and only Lions Food Hub. Well, what we're going to do today is turn over to what happened at the Den in the final game of the championship season and talk about how did already relegated Oxford perform against us. Ahead of the match, Craig, what were the league positions?
So we were third prior to the game, and then I believe they were third from bottom, so just in that last relegation spot, and that's the one that just hurts the most because you're so close to surviving.
Well, that's nice to know that you're close to surviving, but he didn't. It was all done the week before. In fact, West Bromwich Albion and another, Blackburn actually, managed to get the points that relegated Oxford United. So, well, there you go. What we had to do was what, Stan?
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a fair old day today, I thought, and, you know, it was a good game we were playing in, and I always thought it was only ever going to be one winner, which was going to be us, and so it proved to be the case.
And we did do that. It was one winner, and we had to do it ourselves. But the real issue was that needing results from others for us to achieve promotion, wasn't it, Jeff?
Yes, it was, unfortunately. But I was hoping before the game that the pressure would get to Ipswich's players, but they got in front quite early in their game, didn't they? We should have relaxed them. So From then on, our job was to win the game. And the last 20 minutes, we just kept the ball, didn't we? And were thinking about next Friday.
Well, it was hope or bust, and we did manage to score a couple of goals. And what do you remember about them, Craig?
Well, I just think they were two very well taken goals. The first one was a great team goal. We started in our own box and ended up scoring. And then the second one, well, I've got one player in mind, Barry Bannon. He turned them left, right, made circles around him, and then laid it off for a lovely pass, and then in the ball goes. And that says it all about a player even at 36.
Yeah, and the crowd was singing Aziz, Aziz, Aziz. I thought it was something out of Lawrence of Arabia at the time, but no, it was very well done, and they did do that. And what about the second goal then, Craig?
And then the second goal is just a moment of brilliance, in my opinion, and I think it's just one of those ones where it just settles in the back of the net. It was set up for him, and then that's when I think we knew we'd done our job, and you could see the relief coming off the players' faces once we settled.
Yes, there was glee and joy all round. I could see that not only on the faces of the players, but also on the faces of the fans. They erupted into meh, and everyone was doing it, weren't they? Were you, Jeff?
I was doing it, yes, top of my voice, yes. I do like the Monk's chant, which is what it's always been called.
Yes.
But I can't keep it up for as long as it used to. I have to take a breath after a few a few meals.
Yeah, I get one of those little oxygen bottles to take with you. Be flying
maybe.
there. Absolutely
Was it
flying.
4 minutes at the Leicester game? They were saying it was like 4 minutes continuous or something like that.
It was amazing how they kept.
There was one very long one a few years ago, wasn't there? Very long one. But
I've heard long ones many years ago, many times.
yeah,
To be honest,
I remember one about 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think that was about Everton, and when we knocked them out the cup, I think a few years back.
that was then, and this is now. Well, we were without Coburn and without that young man Caleb Taylor, who have been a force really in our side all the way along. Coburn came out and walked around the pitch at the end of the game, but he wasn't put on the bench. Jeff, what do you think about Coburn, and what do you think his loss is?
Once we went 2-0 up and I knew the score from Ipswich, I was only hoping for one thing, that Josh Coburn would be fit at some stage over the next 3 games, hopefully from the first game onwards. And it was lovely seeing him walk round the pitch, and you have to be hopeful. Personally, I don't think we're the same team without him at the moment.
Yeah.
So that was a big loss. In the Leicester game, he got injured, I think, after 6 minutes, didn't he? Something like that.
It weren't far off that, yeah.
And it was a tackle. It was a very reckless tackle, in my opinion, but he did get the ball. And some people say that's enough to not concede a free kick. But our goalkeeper at Crystal Palace, Roberts, he got the ball on his challenge and got sent off. So I'm not sure that's consistent.
Personally, as my refereeing knowledge, I actually looked at it and I would have sent him off, personally, if that was me refereeing that game.
Endangering an opponent.
Yeah, endangering an opponent. Opponent would have been the criteria.
Well, I may be being romantic here, but we'd now be in the Premier League if the referee had done that.
Yeah, it's just a shame. Hindsight's beautiful.
Well, hindsight is beautiful, and hindsight with Karl Bates is beautiful as well, because he's got it as well. But we'll talk with him later, and I'm convinced he'll tell us a few stories from his end of the his involvement in telling the world about what was happening at Den today. But there's Caleb Taylor, Stan.
Well, he's a class act, to be fair, and I think as time goes on, he'll only get better and better. But no, I mean, the thing that stands out about him for me is the one memory I have of him is that wonder goal that he scored.
Yeah.
I mean, often defenders.
Against Southampton,
it's normally an header, isn't it, or something like that. But I mean, that was he done a shot that day that Bobby Charlton would have been proud of. I mean, and that takes some doing.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, he's a quality defender. But we got quality players. I mean, I've got no doubt about that. Whatever. The problem's injuries, isn't it? That's the problem.
Yeah, we'll talk
Not just
about
for us, but for everyone.
We'll talk about injuries later on, actually. So. What do you think he's missed it has been missed in the team?
Yeah, I think he's been missed, but I think moving Crammer into centre half, and then we've had great quality at right back in Lenny and people who filled in. So I actually want to say thank you very much, West Brom, for actually sending him to us. He's been absolutely quality, but. Yeah, he is missed. Very missed.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think we miss him when he's playing right back. I prefer him at right back to centre
Taylor?
back. Yeah. No, Kramer.
Yeah,
so
Kramer, yeah.
If Taylor's fit,
yes,
then he allows Kramer to play right back.
Yeah, that's the difference.
What I meant.
That's what you meant. I can understand that. So the final table obviously ended up very much in the lines of how it started. We ended up in third. Ipswich, because they had a 3-1 win against Queen's Park Rangers, were promoted for the 4th time in 4 seasons and returned to the top flight. Will they have learnt the lessons that they perhaps didn't learn last time that they went up? Well, until we know, we never know, right? That's true, isn't it? And the other bit that's significant in all of this is, where do we go from here? Well, where we go from here is that we're away to Hull City, who were number 6 on the list and in the playoffs, and we play there first. And then we're back at the Den on Monday after that, where we hope that we can get ourselves over the line and on our way to Wembley. Any brief thoughts on that opportunity?
Yeah, well, I think we will get to Wembley. I think Hull are a very good side. There's some decent sides in the division this year, not the obvious ones that people expected in some cases. I was always confident we'd be in the playoffs because we've been so close previously, and we've got a better group of players now than we had when we went close. So I think I was always confident we'd get to the playoffs at least. And Friday night at Hull will not be easy. But everyone's looking forward to another atmosphere on Monday night when we have Hull in the second leg.
Yeah, I think they are. Reminds me of that game before the team went up with Stuart Nethercott, the season before, in fact, when they got to the playoffs. And it was a miserable night at the Den when Derby came and turned us over. I hope that's not the case this time. And I hope we've got a stronger team than we had then.
We almost had Derby again, didn't we, Eamonn?
We did. They were nearly there.
Which I wouldn't have liked.
No. No, they dropped off. They dropped off there. I couldn't believe they lost that game. It was quite incredible.
Yeah, I personally would have preferred Hull were my preferred option if I could choose one of them out that could have been in today.
Yeah, I think they were the team to play in the semi-finals. Don't you agree, Stan? Do you think they're the team to play, Hull?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I would agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, they're the better one to get. And now, of course, you can get your tickets for that home game. They're available from to season ticket holders, first of all. And we're in a good position, really, to, I think, take every ticket that we can get very quickly. So make sure you get your tickets quickly. I did meet a guy who said to me, "Hey, you want to get your self booked into the Premier in there's 6 of us going and it's only £200." He said you could stay the week for an extra 100. I said, yeah, but what about the game back at the Den? Don't you want to be there for that? He went, oh yeah, I see what you mean. So yeah, it's a nice place actually, that Premier Inn.
Well, I don't understand what the thing about Hull is. I mean, the last time I was up there, I mean, I was glad to come back on. I mean, it didn't have any fond memories for me. I mean, I thought
now Tom Wilson is listening tonight, and Tom lives in South Cave, which is about 5 miles outside of Hull. So Tom, what I'm going to say to you is that Stan wasn't referring to your part of Hull. He was referring to the city centre.
Yeah. And the old boy lad when he was up there. Yeah.
What an excellent player Tom was. Nice to know you're listening, Tom.
Yeah, he's there. So say hello to Tom. One of our Forever Lions, actually. Yeah. We had 3 Forever Lions get inducted today. The first one through the door was, well, the pocket. In your pocket player, wasn't he? The pocket rocket. Who was that, Jeff? Do you remember?
Are you referring to Terry Brisley?
Correct.
Well, he went second, Eamonn. I would like to correct you on that point. Another cop went first, I think.
Actually, when I interviewed him, he went first. Sorry, Jeff.
Well, there you are. Yeah, but no, Terry Brisley, a member of the promotion-winning side in 1976.
Yeah, and he was delighted to get the honour.
He's a Canning Town boy, I believe.
Well, he followed the Lions with the majority of his family. There were 2 that went to West Ham, but he don't talk about them. And he was thoroughly joyed to be recognised as a Forever Lion, and he was thoroughly enjoyed receiving Player of the Year that time. And I reminded him of the mix-up that people get that he shot a shot into the Chelsea goal from 30 yards, when the reality was that he actually headed a ball in, which was quite strange for a diminutive person that Terry was.
Well, today he wouldn't be given that goal.
No.
Because the ball came back off the crossbar, didn't it? And hit the keeper on the back.
That's it.
I think that's all wrong, by the way. That should always be given to the person that has the header, I think.
Absolutely. And that was the way it was. So, but then we had our friend Stuart Nethercott, otherwise known as Nethers. It was nice to see old Nethers. Didn't you think, Stan?
Yeah, I was, because, I mean, we did the show, didn't we, the other night, and he was on it, and I always liked Stuart Nethercott. I mean, he when he was out there, he gave you everything, didn't he? And so I was really, so when he got the thing, I was really glad for him. And in actual fact, when I see him come down and come out, I looked at him, I thought, so cool, if we had a problem with centre-half, the way he looked, I thought, so you put him in a kit and he'd be away. But
if you put
I mean, all the things that are said about Stuart Nethercott, what a player, it's all correct. You can't,
It's real.
Yeah,
it's a real deal, like the other fella over there, the real deal.
I only ever see him once get slaughtered by the crowd.
Yeah.
And it was for a stupid thing.
Yeah.
He'd been out of the team for a while.
And he come back,
And he come back in, right? He was a sub, he comes on. And then what happens is the referee gives a free kick for some reason, and he just kicked the ball away. Now, if you kick the ball away, you're going to get booked, aren't you?
That's right.
And that's exactly what he got booked for.
Yeah.
So he only had to have one, and all the crowd on the cold blow, they were going balmy.
Yeah.
But for that reason, because...
Yeah. Why do it?
And he hadn't played in the team for about 4 weeks at that point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tough decisions sometimes, tough decisions. The last one up was Naomi Cole. Jeff, you know Naomi?
I do, yes. I remember her playing for Millwall for several years.
Yeah.
She was a very good club player.
Yeah.
I've even seen her volunteer to go in goal when
she did.
There was a problem filling that space, and she did an excellent job.
Yeah.
I think that was against Oxford United.
Yeah, it was.
You know that, do you?
Yes, I do.
And I didn't know that. I've dragged that one out of my memory bank. But,
it must have been in the fog, and it came clear.
I think that got played at Abingdon United, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But it's a few years ago now.
Yeah.
It's something like eight years since she played for us, I think.
It's just before the change.
Yes.
Is to be true. She was our captain. She done well. She played as captain for England under 15s all the way through to under 23s, and she was most joyed by the fact that she was in that WSL 2 setup that we got into. I think she was a bit disappointed when things didn't go quite as she thought it might, and ended up playing for Oxford United eventually before she hung up her boots in 2008. Very, very interesting person, and you'll be able to listen to those three people give their interviews on the Rock and Goal Show next Saturday with Tim Courtnell. I think we'll move to the adverts now.
This
is Maritime Radio.
With CAS window cleaning, you can enjoy the view from your windows every day with no streaks, spots or smudges, just pure clarity. For your home or business, CAS Window Cleaning's fully insured and risk-assessed service safely cleans windows, sills and frames up to 55 feet high with their water-fed pole. And you don't pay until you're clearly happy. For details or to book, call 0333 123 0008 or visit caswindowcleaning.com.
You could travel the world in search of the finest flavours, or you could look closer to home. At Panas Gurkha Restaurants, we're dedicated to delivering delectable dishes from both Nepal and India. Winner of the Asian Curry Awards Nepalese Restaurant of the Year 2024, why not dine in with us? Or enjoy a top-notch takeaway with our menu classics, or maybe try some of our exhilarating new dishes. Along with our exceptional menu, we pride ourselves on supporting the local community through charitable efforts. Panas Gurkha Restaurants. Come and see us in Blackheath, Hither Green and Falconwood, and online at thepanas.co.uk.
This is Maritime Radio.
Maritime Radio.
The Millwall Community Trust runs over 100 football multi-sports courses, run during every school holiday and vary from a week to 3 days and even 1 day. The day runs from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. and is open to boys and girls for all abilities aged 5 to 13. Check out the Millwall Community Trust website.
Well, thanks very much, Bethany, and we hope that the new baby's doing just as well as you do when you're doing our adverts. Anyway, we're back now. I'm Eamonn Barclay, and with me I have our obliging and splendiferous panel of Craig Wilson, Jeff Burnige and Stan Godwin. Our guest this evening is the official lead commentator for Millwall Football Club, a role he has held since August 2017. In this capacity, he provides full match commentary for Millwall TV. Beyond his primary duties with the Lions, he is a seasoned broadcaster and voiceover artist with nearly 2 decades of experience with BBC Radio London, voiceover work with Sky and SN Voices, and an outspoken advocate for Epilepsy Action, having been diagnosed with epilepsy himself. He's also one person that has made, I think, Jeff Burnige envious of something that he'd done on the television, and he's always remembered that somewhat to his heart. Let's say hello to the one and only Karl Bates. Hello.
It's a very nice countdown there, Eamonn.
Hi, Carl. Craig here. Hi, Carl.
Hi, Craig. You okay?
All right, Carl, Stan here.
Evening, Stan.
It's Jeff Burnige here, Carl. I have no idea what Eamonn was referring to. Perhaps I'll find out during the next few minutes.
Yeah, maybe 30 seconds or so.
Yeah, it was something to do with countdown, wasn't it? I seem to remember, and some elegant hostess on there doing things, and Jeff was ever so envious. It might come to him. He was. He made a message of it quite a few years ago, actually. But there you go. Anyhow, Karl, I hope you had a good time today, even while keeping an eye on the scores that could have impacted our final position. It must have been exciting to stay so engaged. What was it really like broadcasting today?
Tough, in all honesty, because while you're commentating on the game, you've got various things going on in front of you. You've got people keeping an eye on a Sky tablet where you can see the news coming in there. You've got people around the stadium trying to get, who's winning, who's got this, who's doing that. You're still trying to commentate on the game. There was so much Millwall support in the commentary box. I had Cascarino sitting in front of me working for TalkSport. I had Horney sitting next to us for Millwall TV. Morrow was there working for BBC London. Tony Craig was there. Dino Standing was sitting behind me. So everybody was there for it. And then sadly within 10 minutes, Ipswich, as expected when you move your heart and your head either side, went 2-0 up, and that was almost game over in that sense for the second spot.
Yeah. The noise around the stadium depreciated very quickly. We were very vociferous to start off with, but the sounds from the fans did go down a bit, perhaps until one Mr. Aziz managed to put the ball in the back of the net. He did well today, didn't he?
Yeah, it was a lovely finish, wasn't it? I mean, the pressure was just, never ending, I think, after about the 5th, 6th minute. Once Millwall had got used to the pace of the game, slowly but steadily pushed Oxford back. And I thought Barry Bannon was a class act today. Just splitting defence. I mean, he was given a lot of time, let's not kid ourselves. Oxford just, they're relegated on the beach, as they say. Nonetheless, Bannon just pulled the strings. Lovely ball down the line for the first, where he just curled it round the player. Then he moved it across to Mihailo, got his head up quick, and Aziz, I think we all knew one-on-one he was at least going to get the shot away, and thankfully got the shot into the top corner, and Millwall had the lead.
Yeah, that was the truth and the case. I'm going to hand you over to Craig now.
Hi, Carl. Craig here.
Hello, mate.
It's nice to have, I believe you say, another vertically challenged person here on the show again. It's wonderful to hear your passion for Millwall, especially when you've been with us since 2017. I'm curious, how are you feeling about where we are and find ourselves today?
That's a good question. I mean, you look at the side where we are now. I think squad depth is something you were mentioning earlier on about how strong we are now. You look at the bench today. You know, you've got Alfie Doughty just coming back. Josh Cobe and Caleb Taylor miss out, but we've still got the likes of Billy Mitchell, Mazu Sakho. And if you think near the start of the season, I mentioned it in my preview, at one point we didn't have any central midfielders. Alfie Doughty ended up playing midfield. I was having a chat with Livers about it, and Livers said, we honest to God had a conversation of, any of you boys played centre mid before? We've got no one. And Doughty was, well, yeah, I've played there a few times. Right, good lad, you're in. And that's how we ended up playing central midfield. It was almost a vote. And when you go from that as a football club to at the end of the season having endless players available, it just shows how good Millwall have been this season, because a lot of sides at the start of the season with those injuries and a poor start at home, I mean, Middlesbrough, Wrexham, Coventry, comfortable wins at the Den.
Yeah.
But this is a side that are built of strong stuff. I believe it was 18 clean sheets this season. Away record outstanding. I think we've only achieved more than the points that we got this season once. I think we got 85.
Yeah, I think it was best away record in the league, I believe.
Yeah. No, correct. Yeah, it was. So overall, I think it's a better side, and it's also, I would say, a more dangerous side. And by that, I mean that we're still very good physically. Set piece is always going to be dangerous, but also with the ball on the floor, quick counter attacks, and I think that's served us very well away from home, especially when we've seen the likes of Aziz on the break. We've seen Ballo today. We get Ivanovic, Coburn pushing forwards. You get the likes of Negley pushing from midfield. We cause teams problems that way, and I don't think teams are used to having a Millwall side that does that against you, playing with pace.
No, I think you're right in that, very much so. I'm going to pass you over to Stan now.
All right, Carl, Stan here, mate.
What, Stan?
Looking back on the season as a whole, I can't help thinking about the injuries we faced. It feels like they've held us back just when we were making great progress. Do you think we are pushing our players to such a high level of fitness that it might be making them more prone to injuries?
I don't think so. I think it's the nature of the game at the moment. Footballers, much of the like, I compare them to, I suppose, horses, in the fact if you look at horses that run top end on Formula One engines, they're so, they're pushed to perfection, aren't they? You know, if you say you got a Formula One car and you threw a couple of bits of grit in the engine, and then you've got a big problem. And footballers are like that these days. You look at them in the past, and it doesn't have to go too far back. You know, you go down the pub, have a few beers, a couple of pies, this, that and the other, and then you turn up on a Saturday, 3 o'clock, and off you go. Footballers just don't do that anymore. You see them on the sidelines. The minute they get a chance, they're over to the sidelines, getting energy drinks, getting this, getting that, keeping themselves at these ridiculously high levels. You think about the amount of miles that these guys put in, 90 minutes every week. I mean, look at Coops, for example. He's a freak in that sort of scenarios. But I think overall, it's hard in regards to the amount of games that we've had at times where we've had to travel. I'd say that's a big issue, where we've had away games and only a few days recovery. I think that's what's caused Millwall some problems with injuries. But overall, I think it's just how well primed that the players are.
Yeah, I think you're right in all of that, Carl. It's not just us, they're all there. Someone said to me that they need to bring the levels of fitness that players attain down a stroke. And I said, well, Can you really
Yeah,
see
well,
football clubs doing that? Can you? No, I can't
No,
see
I
them
wouldn't have
doing
thought
that.
so.
No, they'll push the players to the premium end of their ability to do the job. So no, I without a doubt think that that is not a way forward. Anyhow, I'm going to pass you over to your close friend Jeff Burnige, who shares some of the views that I won't say that, but Jeff Burnige, over to you, Jeff.
Karl, it's lovely to have you on the show, mate. Looking forward to seeing you next time. This season, particularly since the arrival of Steve Gallen as Director of Football, we've been very active in the loan market. We had one or two going out on loan, but this season we've had 4 players. 2 came in the summer, I think, and 2 in the January window, and they haven't made a huge impression on team selection. Patterson, the goalkeeper, went straight into the team. He's done really, really well. Will Smallbone, who was a brilliant player 2 years ago, he was number 1 choice for midfield for the Republic of Ireland. But he's had a couple of bad years for injuries, and so we've not seen much of him. Tieno Ballo has been in and out the side. He's been on loan since the summer. But in January, we signed Tommy Watson because we weren't sure who'd be playing on the left, were we? What's been your view of the loan transfers, particularly those coming in, Karl?
I think Patterson's done exceptionally well. He does give a calming. He has a calming influence in defence. The back four seem to trust him. He's very good at coming for corners. Any set pieces, if he gets a chance, he gets onto them. Just clears people out of the way. Seems brave. I mean, there's one even just today. There was a ball put into the box. He got over the ball, sort of clambered over him to collect the ball. Wonderful, remarkable save away. Was got the volume from about 6 yards out when he somehow tipped over the bar. And even though, nothing against Max Grove, he did really well when he came into the side, but Patterson is just that level above, and it showed at times, and I think that's what Millwall have needed and will need in the playoffs. In regards to Smallbone, you can't really judge him, sadly, as due to being injured pretty much all the time. He hasn't been able to show what he can do. We know the ability's there, but unfortunately his body just isn't holding up at the moment. Who knows if he'll get a chance during the playoffs. I mean, he's come on a bit today, so I think he's still in Alex's mind. Alex knows the quality he has, and he's definitely an option for Millwall. Ballo almost came out of nowhere, a bit of a curveball. Just expecting him as a sub, not really coming on, getting 5 minutes, 10 minutes here and there, and now suddenly he's starting games. He's causing problems. He's got a couple of assists, come close to scoring a few times with headers. Watson, on the other hand, frustrates me, in all honesty. I think when I've seen him play, he looks for all the world he's going to do something that you're expecting him to do, and then he doesn't. He gets the ball, gets into a dangerous position, and just as you think he's going to explode, he's going to take the player and he's going to do this, he's going to do that, he hesitates or cuts back or just gets knocked to the ball. I think he's going to be one of those players that will be, to an extent, your Hail Mary. I think that's somebody Alex might throw on and think, right, let's give him a go. He might just, a bit like he did with Idemo, to be fair. He'd play Idemo the same. He'd throw Idemo on near the end of a game and see if he could cause any problems, and I think he'll do the same with Watson. But no, Patterson, for me, out of the ones that have come in, has made the difference, and if we were given the option to buy him, I think that would be a sound purchase.
Yeah, I think that we've been mumbling over the issue about buying Patterson. I think he's, if I can say, head and shoulders above, I think, what we've got, to be honest. Yeah, true. His capabilities are, well, they're evidential in everything that we've seen with him. I mean, now he came off and got that ball where it, unfortunately, was heading towards the Oxford United player and got there faster. Was quite amazing. Yes, it was. And the more I see of those sort of things, and he's sharp and he comes forward and he gets out, he's just everywhere. He is one of those goalkeepers that plays ever so well.
Well, he's very focused, isn't he?
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about quite a few of the games recently, Leicester, Oxford, and a few others, he's had literally nothing to do due to how well we've defended, and suddenly out of nowhere, he's having to pull off an important save. So, very, very good keeper.
Yeah, he's got amazing agility and at short notice. It's incredible, really. Absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
I think Jeff's got another question for you, actually.
Yeah, I mentioned Steve Gallen earlier. Karl, I'm sure he will have already made plans for recruitment during the summer. Probably 2 different plans, one for each division that we might be in. I can reflect on my time in the boardroom, and we had some very, very good sides down the years. I suppose the most outstanding one was the one that took us into the first division in 1988. What they didn't have was the strength in depth that the present side has, and we've needed it because of the injuries you've been discussing. However, when we went up last time in 88, we topped the league, didn't we, for a while in both seasons before falling back and getting relegated in 1990. In those days, they used very different tactics. What are your views on how we might be doing next season once we've seen a bit of recruitment?
Well, that's a tough one, isn't it? Because I think Millwall have got to keep their identity if, and I put if in capital letters, bold and underline it, if Millwall do go up, because there's no point trying to become Man City, as so many teams across all levels of football seem to want to do these days. And in regards players, bringing them in, again, Alex Neil will want them of a certain mindset, a certain identity, a certain type of player. And you've got to look at the teams like Bournemouth, Brentford, who, without trying to sound disrespectful to them, have no right messing with the big boys in regards financially, but Millwall do that in the Championship. You look at the teams around them, Ipswich have, and congratulations to them, have finished second. You look at Southampton, Middlesbrough, they've got so much more money than Millwall do, and that would be the same tenfold if Millwall went up. But that's not to say you can't compete. I mean, Brentford won today against West Ham. Obviously, we're all really disappointed about that. And that puts them now 5th, 6th in the league, and they're pushing for a Champions League place. Brentford. And that's no, as I said, that's not been disrespectful to them, but that's an incredible achievement. So there are teams in there that, if Millwall do go up, they'll be looking at the like and thinking, we need to compete with them. We need to carry on the way we have in the transfer market, selling, sadly, the likes of SA, etc., and then reinvesting, selling to and reinvesting where needed. And so if Millwall do go up, who knows what will happen, and it'll be a hell of a ride finding out. If they don't, then it's a case of trying to hold on to the players that they want, and again, bringing in those little gems from nowhere, your Caleb Taylors, Mazu Sakho sneaking in from nowhere, and players like that to help Millwall build. Yeah,
no, I think you're right there. Have you got a question there, Craig, that I picked up?
Yeah, just a little question. So we had the awards like our Player of the Year, Young Player of the Year. If there was a Most Improved Player of the Year award, I think a player that's grown into the season is Negley. Is there anyone in particular you would have picked?
It would be the same as you. I think I've said it on commentary a number of times. Negley just impresses me more and more every time he walks onto the pitch. He just, you get there's only 2 Camille Negleys. He just seems to be everywhere. He seems to be creating an opportunity down the left. He plays the ball into the centre and then he picks it up. And it's like, well, hang on a second. I swear blind you were over on the left wing playing that. He does, doesn't he? He just appears everywhere. And it's such a gift to the manager. He must love having Camille Negley in his side, not just because of his ability, but because of his adaptability. You can play him left of the 3, you can play him central in the 10 role, you can play him on the right, you can play him central midfield, you can play him in more of a deeper role, you can play him pretty much where you want, which is great for a manager when you're thinking, actually, like Alfie Doughty, Billy Mitchell coming on, we need to just move players around, we've got a gap, let's fill that in with Negley. I think Camille moved 2 or 3 positions today, and you'd never have known. He just adapts like Camille, need you to play here, not a problem. And he just carries on at that level. He doesn't struggle, doesn't take him time to get going again. He just blends in as if he's been playing there from minute one. And yeah, really, really impressed with him. Others, let's have a quick think in regards impressing us when they've come in. I think Caleb Taylor, I would say, would be another. At the back, we all know that he's a good player, but he's turned into a very good, if not great player for Millwall defensively. I think he surprises centre forwards. They look at him and Cooper and they straight away go and make friends with Caleb and think he'd be the easier option. But even though he's half the build of Coops, he still knocks him. He's still a bully at the back. You know, if you ever meet Caleb, he's quite quiet. He's, like I said, physically he's not built. He's still quite slight, but as we've seen in 50-50s, he rarely comes out second, so I've been impressed with him as well. And of course, 30-yard rockets he just happens to have in his locker. We'll see a few more of them with a bit of luck.
Well, I think we will see more of them with a bit of luck. He's really doing the job really well. We're going to take a break to the ads now. Stick with us, Carl. We've got a few more questions that we'd like to pose to you. So, going over to the ads now.
We are Maritime Radio.
Maritime Radio.
Has your business lost at least £40,000 as a result of COVID restrictions? Do you have business interruption insurance? If the answer is yes, COVID claims could help you reclaim financial losses, even if your initial claim was refused, you've been made a low offer, or you just don't know where to start, all on a no-win, no-fee basis. Just text LOSS to 60777 for help. From COVID claims regulated by the FCA, text LOSS to 60777.
You could have the best product in the world, one that everybody wants or needs.
You could offer a quality service that really is second to none.
Or you could have offers that are simply unbeatable.
But it's all pointless if your potential customers don't know who you are or where to find you.
That's those same potential customers who are also listening to Maritime Radio right now.
Has it clicked yet?
To find out about an effective, ear-catching and low-cost advertising campaign, just click on maritimeradio.co.uk, then advertise.
With the change in seasons, it's always good to have a hearty cuppa. Whether at home, work or out and about, a cup of Drury's finest tea or coffee will bring you that warm, comforting feeling. Drury's a family-run business that's been expertly blending specialist tea and coffee since 1936. Local residents that use Drury Tea and Coffee's click and collect service from their Royal Arsenal premises automatically qualify for a discount. What's not to love about a heartwarming brew from Drury Tea and Coffee? Find out more at shopdrury.com.
Maritime Radio. Community Line.
Hi, I'm Janet Lee, founder and group leader of Reflections, a charity for people living with dementia and their family and friends. Do you know somebody who's caring for somebody with dementia? Are you caring for somebody with dementia yourself? Our groups may be of interest to you. We run 2 groups. On the second Monday of each month, we run an evening carer support group, which is on Zoom. This is for somebody either caring for someone in their own home, in a care home, or remotely. At the group, in a safe place, carers can take time for themselves to express their feelings and find understanding. They can share experience, ask questions and receive information and support. You will always be met with a warm welcome. If you would like more information about either of our groups, please see our website reflectionsgreenwich.com. We would love to be able to welcome you.
Local radio for Greenwich. Maritime Radio. Community Line.
We are Maritime Radio.
Maritime Radio.
Our Millwall Community Trust Line Centre has a 4G football pitch where 9 versus 9 can play, a sports hall, classrooms and the cafe. To access these state-of-the-art facilities in a safe and positive environment, get in touch on 0207 740 0503.
Well, thanks, Bethany. I'm Eamonn Barclay, and with me I have our altruistic and partaking panel of Jeff Burnige, Craig Wilson and Stan Godwin. I also have our guest, well, we all know him, it's Karl Bates from Millwall TV. I'm going to hand you over to Stan now, Karl.
Hello, Karl. How you doing? All right?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Ah, good. Now, at some point, I suspect when the season ends, you're going to be thinking about putting your feet up and having a rest, or are you likely to be involved in any way in World Cup duties?
The only World Cup duties I'll be involved in will be my eyes and the television, I'm afraid. Apparently America can't afford me. Donald's been on the phone. You know what he's like. That we couldn't come up with a deal. It was fake news, which was a real shame. No, joking aside, no, I couldn't afford the parking. No, right, anyway, right. No, in regards to the World Cup, no, I'll just be watching the same as everybody else. In between this season and next, my son plays a strange sport to most called chook ball, but it's a very popular sport. It's like handball. He plays for the UK, and they're playing in the European Championships in Switzerland.
Excellent.
So we will be heading over there during the close season, and hopefully the UK can do really well, and maybe, if they're lucky, they're not one of the stronger sides, but hopefully come in the top 3, pick up a medal. But if not, it'll be great fun nonetheless. Yeah. So I won't have anything in between apart from those, in all honesty. But before you know what it's like. You get the pre-season games, the World Cup will finish, pre-season friendlies turn up, and off we go again.
Oh, no, that's right. I mean, that's right. I mean, personally, I'm looking forward to the World Cup as it goes. But anyway, that's another thing for another day. Just one other thing that always puzzles me. Right, now, I've been banging on about this for some time. This is this question of injuries. Right, now, I mean, all right. I mean, I remember once an ex-professional player, in actual fact, an ex-assistant manager of Millwall, when he was on, you're on Sky Sports one day, and this was a few years ago now, and it was an Arsenal fan rang up, and he was going on, and the season was about 6 weeks old, and they had about 9 players out injury on long term and whatever, and he asked, and it was Frank McClintock he was talking to, and his view was that he took the view that players were too finely tuned, right? There was a bit like the proverbial nib on the pencil. Apply a bit of pressure, got the best, and then they just go. I mean, and he said that he just to give his opinion, and he said, I think that the trouble is with players today, he said, compared to when he played, was he said, you know, the laws have all changed, tackles we made would be sent off for and all the rest of it. They're playing on long tennises as opposed to the muddy, and yet they're all going down injured, which was something we never got. And I think there was something in it. What's your view on all that?
Yeah, as I said earlier, I think he has a point. I think they are pushed to their very limits. I think it is more of a squad game now. I think if you probably looked at the amount of rotation that happened back in the day, as they say, I think there was a stat somewhere, I can't remember it, I think it was when Liverpool won the league, they may have only had 1 or 2 subs that they used during the whole season. It was like a squad of 13, 14, and they went on and won the league. Now you see players changed all the time. You know, most games 3, 4 subs, and so some players are coming on only getting 10, 20 minutes, but it's just giving players those rests. And maybe players were more tired than we realised. Nowadays, everybody they've geared up to every bit of equipment, so everybody on the bench knows when players are starting to struggle. They've got this before even the players do. The players are in the middle of playing the actual game itself, but there'll be analysts and physios, etc., on the sidelines seeing all the data going through and realising that a player's struggling, and they'll be the ones saying you need to come off, and the player's got no idea. Well, in the olden days, you just played until you were literally crawling on the floor, and then if you're lucky, there's a sub still ready for you. If not, you crack on.
Yeah, no, that's right.
And no, I think with injuries, it is because they are so finely tuned. But I suppose that's why they have bigger squads. You know, I think it's 25, 30 players you have within your first team, and I'd imagine back in the day it would have been half of that.
Yeah, I think you're right in that, no doubt about it. Well, thanks very much, Karl. We've really enjoyed everything that you shared with us, and we look forward to seeing, if we do go up, what the changes will be to enable us to deal with the broadcasting requirements in the Premier League. I'm sure that's going to make a big difference up the top of the stadium. But thanks for coming on. We look forward to hearing you. I think I might be listening to you on that trip to Hull. I don't see myself going up on that one, so I'll keep my ears to the line. And as always, you provide a really good story line and humour, which goes with a wonderful show. Thanks very much, Karl. Take care.
Thanks, Karl.
Thanks, Karl.
Cheers, Karl.
Thanks as always for having us on.
You're welcome. Bye for now. Okay, let's take a look at the end of season awards very briefly. The Millwall Awards night winners list came out, and we saw the awards delivered that night at the Den, and they repeated some of those presentations today after the game. The Millwall Supporters Club Player of the Season went to Jake Cooper. The Players Player of the Season went to Tristan Kramer. Young Player of the Season went to Caleb Taylor. Junior Lions Player of the Season went to Femi Aziz. Goal of the season absolutely went to Caleb Taylor. As Stan mentioned, Bobby Charlton would have been proud of that when we played Southampton. The Matty Sarkic Award, which is for the save of the season, went to Anthony Patterson at Ipswich, and he did pull off one hell of a save. Millwall Lionesses Player of the Season was Emma Squirrel. Tell us about Emma quickly, Jeff.
Yes, she's had an amazing season. She plays left back, and she'd had about 2.5 seasons out of the game injured. And when she first signed for us, she looked very promising, but it wasn't long before she got an injury. So she's done brilliantly to get back, and I think over the season she's got better and better. And left back's always an important position and difficult position to fill, and Emma's done it brilliantly.
Yeah, thanks for that. And then, of course, there was the MSC special recognition that went to Jordan Butler, and we'll hear more about that later on, because I think there's a special with the MSC. Millwall Ruhrmann's Player of the Season was Sebastian Morley, great player in the making. PFA Community Champions, well, Lucas Jensen and Olivia Coldrick, don't they get out there and do so much work in the community? And the director's unsung hero, well, Bob Millward. Well, we will return on Saturday the 6th of June with our monthly Millwall News and Views show, when we will know some of what is being planned at the Den for season 26-27. Thanks especially to our guest, Karl Bates, and ultimately our regular panellists, Stan Godwin, Jeff Burnige and Craig Wilson. And not forgetting our producer, Gary Sylvester. Thank you for listening. Bye for now. Let's hear some music.
Let's the best team in London, no, the best team of all. Everybody knows us, we're called Millwall. Yeah! Let them come, let them come, let them come, let them all come down to the Den. Let them come, let them come, we'll only have to beat them again. It's the best team in London, no, the best team of all. Everybody knows us, we're called Millwall. Millwall, let them come, let them come, let them come down to the Den. It's Saturday in Cold Blow Lane, we've all come down to cheer. We've had our jelly deals and our glass of beer. Come rain or shine, our families will brave unblessed. And as the Lions run on the pitch, everyone will sing. And let them come, let them come, let them come, Khalil, come
Maritime Radio. Maritime Radio, community line.